Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Ooh, Nutella. That sounds good. That sounds yummy. I had sandwich. I had a sandwich. A sandwich. It was like rotisserie chicken. And it was yum. Like deli. Sliced. Yummy, yummy. It was really good. All right. I have this stream going on in the background, waiting for it to go live. How is everybody this afternoon now? Afternoon. That coffee is yummy. I'm having regular coffee with peppermint mocha creamer. It's really yummy. Okay, let me add this, and we will get started as soon as they get started. Right-dio. Right-dio. Probably going to heat up meatballs later. I made Thai-style meatballs with apricot preserves and Thai chili. Ooh, that sounds kind of cool. That sounds like something Abigail would like. She likes that kind of, I don't know about the meatball part, but she's like all about the weird little fruity sauces and stuff like that. So, yes, she is. Oh my goodness. You know how you get your belly full, and that's literally when you can, like, just go straight to Sleepy Town, Sleepy Town, Sleepy Town, Sleepy Town. Could go straight to Sleepy Town. Doesn't taste fruity because of the chili, but it's like a sweet sour. Yeah, that sounds yummy. I had chips as well. I love just plain, sorry, I'm just fiddling around in these settings back here in the back. I love plain, like, tortilla chips. Don't get me wrong, I love some queso too, but let me see. Anybody else spinning? Anyone else spinning, or just Mary Lou? Let's see if anybody else is spinning. Don't spin around too fast, Mary Lou. You'll get dizzy. Kale's good. Kale's good. Sherry said my head is spinning. Gail said not for her too. Good deal. Mary Lou, maybe check your connection or go out and come back in. Oh, I forgot, Steph. Yeah, we need to watch and see if he's there. Wouldn't that be so cool if he was? That would be super cool if he was. Just saying. The Grinch. It's funny because when I went to change clothes earlier, hold on, let me show you. And make myself bigger. We got to watch for the salute. Yes, ma'am. So whenever, ooh, is my video like, is it like laggy for you? Like when I go like, I feel like it's like, blah, all of a sudden. But anyway, if it is, I can like change the, from 80 to the 7, whatever. But I put this shirt on today and it says, what does it say? Kind is the new cool. Yeah. Oh, there's the Grinch. So see, I put actual clothes on and I was like, I'm going to, you didn't go. It's too cold. Okay. Doggone it. The sound goes weird for me, but I don't know if it's because of me being in bed on my earbuds. Oh, I don't know. I notice when I watch replays back, sometimes it like does that thing, you know? But it's probably me or this mic. Yeah. Glad to see you either way. Absolutely. But anyway, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I noticed it doing that every once in a while, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix that. But I'll figure that out. I'll try to get that squared away and figured out. Only being Chris, she's really good with streaming and audio things, so I might get with her if she's not busy over the weekend and try to like test some things out. I don't know. What do you mean, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's good. Why? Why you say that, Mickey? But I put this shirt. It says kind is the new cool. I put it on when I went to change clothes a while ago, and I grabbed this shirt, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear this because stop yawning, Kitty. Ugh. Just looking at my serious face, I was like, But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna put this shirt on because the chat earlier today, before lunch. Oop, I hear audio. Let me add. Pretty judge.
Guilty judge, I would like to approach Mr. Tucker with something on the record, but I'd rather it be at the bench, please.
Okay, certain.
So they're having a little sidebar. I thought you were sleeping a little bit ago, LOL. I would like to take a nap today. And I might actually do that. Not even kidding. I like those late evening or afternoon naps, Okay, that dude right there, the snarly dude that does that all the time, he totally looks like Michael Jordan right there. He looks like Michael Jordan right there. I think it's because he's got that like black and white outfit on, the black and white like sports Adidas jersey, or not jersey, but sports jacket, and you can't see his beard. Totally looks like Michael Jordan. And we need to play the celebrity game again, the celebrity who's who in the courtroom, because we didn't continue with that. We figured out that her the Jesse case yesterday, the judge looks like, I can't never say that woman's name right. Adina, I can't never say her name right. Menzel. That's Adina Menzel. Is that how you say it? I always feel like I say it wrong. But we figured out Tucker is Michael Douglas.
Unless you could bring the jurors in.
Or Michael Caine. There's Michael Jordan in the back. Michael Jordan grew a beard. Tracksuit, right, Kel? Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. Duh. Say it like John Travolta. Say what like John Travolta?
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope your lunch was good and that you're ready to listen to the additional evidence that will be presented this afternoon. Chief Assistant, you may go ahead and call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Detective Tracy Moore.
All right. What are we saying like John Travolta stuff?
And if you would please remain standing and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give before the court in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You can take your hand down and have a seat. And if you would please introduce yourself to the jury.
Excuse me.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Detective Tracy Moore. I'm with the Clayton County Police Department. I'm currently in the Criminal Investigation Division. I have been in that role for, it was 6 years in November, and I've been with the department for, it'll be 10 years in February.
Well, thank you for answering the first 7 questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought so.
Okay, let's move
I'm
on.
sorry.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay, and this witness kind of puts me in the mind of Karen Scott, our friend here in
For, it'll be 10 years in February.
Diamondista. Karen Scott Diamondista.
I am.
And were you post-certified law enforcement officer back in May of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I was following along, you have also still been in CID in 2019, is that
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And just, what is CID?
The Criminal Investigation Division, we just investigate different types of crimes that can't be handled right there on the road.
So do you occasionally then respond to scenes after the uniform division has tried to handle what they can handle?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you working and on duty on May the 7th of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
As it relates to this particular case, did you respond to the actual scene of the incident, or did you go somewhere else as part of your initial duty?
I did not. I went somewhere else.
And did you respond to Southern Regional Medical Center?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Is it common at the Clayton County Police Department Criminal Investigations Division for multiple detectives to be assigned tasks for one case?
Yes, ma'am.
And were there multiple detectives doing various things as it relates to this particular shooting?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you respond to Southern Regional Medical Center around 6:50 p.m. on May the 7th?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the purpose of going there?
To view the victim of a gunshot wound.
And to determine his status?
Yes.
Once you were there, were you able to confirm that Mr. Herring had in fact passed away from his gunshot wound?
I was.
And as a response to that, did you then contact the Georgia Bureau of Investigations to set up the autopsy that occurred?
I did.
In addition to confirming the status of Mr. Herring, Did you also assist in executing search warrants of the two vehicles that were involved in, of Ms. Payne's vehicle and Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Your Honor, at this time I'm not, Judge, I understand. These are leading questions. I understand trying to get the details out, but this was kind of a compound that was leading that evidence that had not been brought in, was brought in the question. I would just ask to curtail it back into leading question.
Your response?
That was a very open-ended question. I asked if she assisted in executing a search warrant. I didn't tell her what the answer was, which would have made the question leading.
So I'm going to overrule the objection and allow the question.
Did you assist in executing search warrants on the defendant's vehicle and Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Where did the execution of those search warrants take place?
In our CSI bay at our police headquarters.
And would the execution of that search warrant, would there have been photographs taken during that?
Yes, ma'am.
Show you what has been pre-marked as Sticks Exhibits 23, 24, and 25. Did you photograph the contents and then the exterior, portions of the exterior of the defendant's vehicle?
Well, the county photographer did, yes, ma'am, but yes, I was present.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you look through 23, 24, and 25 to determine if those fairly and accurately depict things that you observed during the search of that vehicle?
I don't know who that is, Steph.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to state with tender 23, 24, and 25.
Grinch said that the guy back there in the gray and black with the, I'm assuming the one there with the big long beard, is Hannah's boyfriend.
I'm going to publish that.
Grinch, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong. The one with the long dark beard.
As it relates to State's Exhibit, well, that's not correct. Take that out. Now, just a moment, Judge.
Yes, you may.
Was there ammunition that was recovered from the defendant's vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what is depicted in State's Exhibit number 23, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Aware as part of this investigation
Thanks for the heads
that there
up.
was some contention that the defendant's vehicle and Mr. Herring's vehicle had made contact prior to the shooting.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you therefore look for any possible damage to the defendant's vehicle?
I did.
And using State's Exhibit number 24, is there some scratch or smudge that you documented as part of that damage?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also locate some potential damage near near one of the tires?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that damage what is depicted in State's Exhibit number 25?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also photograph some items and some things in Mr. Herring's vehicle as well?
We did.
Have photographs. I'm going to show you State's Exhibit. You could look through State's Exhibits 26, 27, 28, and 29.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recognize the contents of those exhibits?
I do.
And do they fairly and accurately depict the state of Mr. Herring's car, during the execution of the search warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
Under state tenders, States Exhibit 26, 27, 28, and 29.
Any objection, Attorney Tucker? Okay, admitted without objection.
Were you able to make any general observations about just what I would call the state of the interior of Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
What were those observations?
There were tools and that type of thing. I believed he was probably a contractor or did some type of handyman type work.
And were there a lot of tools located in that vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you agree that it was a rather cluttered type vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
As it relates to State's Exhibit number 26, was there what appeared to be a blood stain in the driver's seat?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that depicted in State's Exhibit number 26 where the ruler indicates?
Yes, ma'am.
And was a general photograph taken from the doorway of Mr. Herring's vehicle as it relates to State's Exhibit number 27 to reflect a lot of items?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as we're looking in, would you agree, can you just kind of, since the record can't pick up what's in the photograph, can you kind of describe what you're seeing in this photograph?
We're seeing a lot of items, different kind of items. There was some trash in there. There was definitely tools in there. Just kind of clutter of all kinds of things.
And looks like you see what looks like maybe some cables,
Looks like jumper cables to me. Yes, ma'am.
a cooler, a briefcase, things along those lines.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely looks like a man's vehicle.
It's a little bit closer up, reflected in State's Exhibit number 28.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you photograph additional tools in the back of Mr. Herring's vehicle as well?
Yes, ma'am.
That supported, would that have supported what you indicated earlier about your belief of using tools?
Yes.
And using State's Exhibit number 29, can you just describe what we're looking at?
A lot of hand tools and a drill. They're just miscellaneous type things you would use to fix things in a home.
Prosecutor said 29. Love it.
And is it common practice, and is it actually policy to document the things that are located in a vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do that specifically as it relates to Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'm approaching with what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit number 31. Do you recognize State's Exhibit number 31?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is State's Exhibit number 31?
That's a vehicle inventory. Anytime we tow a vehicle, we would list what is in the vehicle so that for multiple reasons, just to document what's there, and then if the person's getting their vehicle back, to make sure that nothing went missing from the vehicle from the tow yard or whatever.
And is this the vehicle inventory that you conducted for Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And does it contain your signature reflecting that you're the one that created this list?
Yes, ma'am.
State with tender, State's Exhibit number 31.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
And if you could just read the list of items and what you documented about Mr. Herring's vehicle.
The items that were left in the vehicle that seemed to be of value: a blue basket with miscellaneous clothing, miscellaneous yard tools, scissors, knife, miscellaneous vehicle, car care tools and objects, a blue cooler,
Okay.
miscellaneous items of no value, a black briefcase, and there was currency, $9 in the center console, and then I'm denoted there was heavy front end damage on the vehicle and body damage as well.
And you mentioned that there were miscellaneous yard tools, including a scissors and a knife. Where were those located?
Those are in the back seat, ma'am.
Just one moment. no further questions at this time for Detective Moore.
Okay, thank you. Any cross-examination, Attorney Tucker?
Good afternoon, Detective Moore.
Good
Matt
afternoon.
Tucker, here with Ms. Payne. I noticed you were able to look at the contents of the vehicle that Mr. Herring was in. Is that correct? And you did an inventory
Yes, sir.
and the pictures that have already been tendered. If I may publish them to the jury.
Okay.
You said these would be the miscellaneous. Got a glare. Maybe if I stand. Okay. Those would be examples of what you said, miscellaneous tools and whatnot
Yes, sir.
in the back seat. Or is that in the back compartment?
That's going to be in the bed.
The back compartment of the bed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this would be a fair,
It's upside down.
It's upside down, sir, but it's the back.
I'm
seat.
trying to block.
There you go.
I'm trying to block the other seat. All right, and that would be the back seat.
Yes, sir.
And there's a cooler right there.
I
Yes,
agree,
yes, sir.
Kel.
What was
I
inside
think it
the
looks
cooler?
better. She looks good.
I don't recall, sir.
Did anybody look inside the cooler?
I'm sure we did.
And in your inventory, you didn't make any reference to the cooler?
If you could show me my inventory again, I believe it was denoted on there.
Okay. If I may correct.
Blue cooler, yes, sir, it's listed.
So in that inventory sheet, you usually write down things that are important, correct?
I wouldn't say important things that may have some value to them. Like if it has no value, we don't really write it down.
Okay. And this appeared to have some value to it, correct?
I mean, it would, yes, it would, if you sold it, it would have some value.
And the contents would either increase or just leave the value of just the cooler, correct?
If it had contents in it, yes, sir.
And nobody checked to see the contents, to your knowledge?
I assisted in the search and we do a thorough search of the vehicle. I don't specifically remember opening it, but we look in we would look in any bag or anything that could contain something else in the glove box, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, but nothing was written about the contents of the cooler.
Correct.
Okay.
Me too, Steph. It's a cute blouse.
Now, there were other pictures that were taken of the contents. And if I may, I'm trying to reduce the number.
And whoever those people are on the left side, they're matching her yesterday. They got bright yellow on. Hello, hello, Tammy.
And if I may approach the gentleman.
You may.
What I have here are some other pictures that were given in discovery of the contents.
Yes, sir.
If you could review those. does that appear to be a fair and accurate representation of the photographs of what was found in that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they don't look like they've been altered. They look like the similar photos that either you or the county photographer took.
The county photographer would have taken them, yes, sir.
But that is a fair and accurate representation of what had appeared in that vehicle.
Yes, sir.
At this time, Your Honor, I would go to tender defense exhibit 23, 24, and 25.
Any objection from the state?
No,
Admitted without objection.
Publish it.
Yes.
So this being defense exhibit number 23. This appears to be clutter that is in the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Are there other items in there that you would think have any kind of value or could be helpful in an investigation?
There's tools, which we've already denoted, but yeah, there's tools in there. There's certainly some type of saw in the floor,
And that saw was in the front seat.
in the floorboard, well, kind of propped up on the seat, yes.
So it was, that's.
That would have been the passenger side, sir.
So that's a fair accusation of where the saw was when you went to the truck or when you looked into the truck?
Yes, sir.
And does that appear to be easy accessible from the driver's position?
Yeah, it would be.
Is there anything else you see in that picture that may be of value? That could have helped the investigation?
I see a cell phone. And I don't see, no, sir, I don't believe so.
Okay. And what color is that cell phone?
Red.
Is there anything else red in that vehicle?
There's some type of, I don't know what it is, plastic thing that looks like maybe a flashlight without the head on it.
What about near the floorboard? That appears to be caps.
At the very bottom, yes, sir. Those, I would call them orange, but yes.
Okay, well, those orange.
Yeah.
Those orange caps, what they appear to be.
They would appear to be the cap that covers the tip of a sharp object, like a hypodermic needle or something like that.
And were any of those caps collected?
No, sir.
Okay. And anything else of value that you see in there?
I mean, I can barely, in the center console, I can see the money in the center console.
Okay. Between the cell phone and the flashlight?
I see a bag.
Okay. And were there other bags throughout the rest of the vehicle, inside the vehicle?
You would have to show me the pictures to refresh my memory. However, there was a lot of trash in the vehicle, so there's a lot of things in the vehicle.
What happened to defense exhibit number 24? And you said there were contents within this area right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there appears to be a cap here, correct?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Well, what is that, whatever that is, what is that laying on top of?
The money, there's money, lottery tickets, a lighter, something red, cigarettes, I think, a cigarette pack.
And if I may approach again, Your Honor,
You may.
I think sometimes that's not giving a good value. And can you see that is a cap or not a cap now that it's gotten closer?
Honestly, no, it's cylindrical. I'm not sure, sir.
Okay.
It looks red. The other things look orange to me, so I could not. I don't know if it's a cap or a pen or what it is, honestly.
Okay, and what is it laying on top
Lottery tickets
of? Is there something of a blue color there that's lying on top of?
on top of it. Yes, I thought you said on top. It on top of. Yes, it's like a little small bag.
Okay. And did y'all collect those little small bags?
No, sir.
So you felt that that was not important in the investigation?
No, sir.
And the little bag that you're referring to is right here, correct?
Up a little bit, but yes, yes, yes.
The little bag.
Correct.
Okay. Were there any other baggage that you saw within the contents? And I'll bring it closer so you can see.
I do see another one, yes, sir.
Okay. And was any of those? And what does it appear to be to you?
Like a Ziploc bag type bag?
Okay. And that type bag was not collected either, was it?
No, sir.
And in the investigation, there really wasn't much collected from this vehicle, was it?
I believe the only thing that I would have to refer to my inventory sheet, but I believe the only thing that we did take from Mr. Herring's vehicle was a blood swab,
Okay.
DNA swabs.
Now this is exhibit number 25. Now was that found within the vehicle?
It was
And where was that found within the vehicle?
in the back seat.
Okay, in the back seat where it was accessible? Was
Yeah,
it
I agree,
accessible
Kel.
buckets?
Or I mean, Steph, that
It
that's what he's
was,
trying to do.
I believe you could see it if you want to bring the other picture back up from the back seat, but I believe you can see it in that photo. It would have been behind in the back seat, kind of in the center. Yes, sir. That's the one. But it's upside down, sir.
So,
There you go.
whereabouts would that have been?
I don't know if they can see if I point on here, but if you see the yellow and black jumper cables or whatever that is,
Over here?
yes, it would be to the bottom left of that.
Right around in here?
Yes,
Okay. So there's a gap here between these two chairs, correct?
there it is.
And it's kind of in between that gap, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you collected that, did you keep it as evidence? Or did
We-
you just take pictures of it?
We just took a picture of it.
Okay, and you didn't feel that that was something that could assist your investigation?
No, sir.
Yeah. And those caps to the hypodermic, to those needles, y'all didn't collect any of those?
No, sir. I believe the only thing we collected were DNA swabs from that vehicle.
Your Honor, if I may approach.
You may.
What I have here is defense exhibit number 26. If you could look at that, please.
Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be a fair and accurate representation of what you saw when you approached the vehicle to do inventory?
Yes, sir.
And it does not appear to be anything altered or there anything moved. It is as you saw when you arrived.
Yes, sir.
At this time, Your Honor, I would tender defense exhibit number 26.
Any objection from the state?
Judge, I'm not going to object to the exhibit. I just want there to be clarity that this was not one of the photographs taken during the execution of the search warrant. This is from where Mr. Herring's vehicle was on scene. So I don't mind if she can recognize that's what it looked like, but this is not a photograph, as I just pointed out to Mr. Tucker a moment ago. This is not a photograph taken for the execution of that search warrant. But I don't object to the photo coming in.
Okay, so the photo is admitted without objection.
May I publish it to the jury?
You may.
Now, in this photo, it gives gives a better and a closer look at what the contents of the console were, correct?
It looks about the same to me.
Okay, and what do you see in those, in that photo?
I see money, lottery tickets, cigarettes. I see the bag, a lighter, something round and red. I'm not sure what that is.
What appears to be coming from that cigarette pack?
May I see the photo in person again?
Sure.
It's just really grainy on there. It would appear there is plastic either beside it or coming from the pack.
And plastic in a form of a,
I can't say for certain it's a bag, but it would appear that be that thick kind of plastic.
and in your investigation of this vehicle, you didn't feel that was valid or important to take in or collect?
No, sir.
Okay. And when you started this investigation, what were you looking within the vehicle for?
We were looking for evidence of what had occurred on the side of the road at 285 and Forest Parkway.
And you were aware that there was an accident prior to the incident, correct?
I was, yes, sir.
Okay. And the accident included a truck, which is photographed here, the contents, and a semi-truck, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
How much do you think that truck weighs, the Mr. Herring truck?
I don't object at this time. I cannot fathom what the relevance of this would be.
Your Honor,
Right, that would be-
if we can approach, I can explain it to the judge.
You may approach.
They're starting to get rowdy. You would think that any sort of like arguments would happen before lunch, right? Because they're full of caffeine. They are getting hungry. They're getting hangry. But then after lunch, see, they've got their belly full. They're happy. You know, less argumentative. And that's all a joke. I know that those judges and lawyers, well, the judge probably does, but I'd say that the lawyers probably, they spend their breaks, their lunch breaks working. I don't think they actually get to eat most of the time, right? Welcome back, Dawn. Welcome back. Maybe he's establishing they didn't swap any of the tools that were close enough that he could have tried to grab, but no one said he grabbed anything. Right. Out of all the witnesses have said that he didn't grab anything, or I don't know. The prosecutor's counting ceiling tiles, I think. Yeah, she keeps like... She's kind of giving me like... sorry if I'm like eating the microphone. She kind of gives like RBF vibes. Lots of good comments. Hey, Joanna. Hey, Joanna. I don't know, but that dude in the blue suit is attractive. I told you that earlier. I said earlier that he was very attractive.
To clarify, you never went to the scene of the accident. You went to Southern Regional, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, so you didn't see any of the accident or any of that. You went to the scene that was
incident after the accident.
That's correct.
Okay. And as you were testifying, if I may first. This picture here when you were making references to the cigarette pack and the plastic coming out of it's right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that is a cigarette pack?
Newports, yes, sir.
Okay. And do you see any cigarettes in that cigarette pack?
From that angle, I cannot.
Okay. But you can see the plastic?
Yes.
So, and as you testified earlier, those contents were not taken into custody.
They were not.
Okay. And so, and you didn't take the picture, but somebody else did, but it was not requested either from you or the other investigators there to take evidence like that into custody, correct?
No, sir. I assisted with the search, so I looked at everything in the car and there was nothing to take as evidence.
So these little baggies that you saw, you didn't, and the needles, you didn't feel those were relevant?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now later on, you were at the precinct, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Ms. Payne was present, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And during that interview,
Judge?
I'm sorry, during that time,
May we object? May we approach? Yes.
Oh, I was muted. I was like, Did you see the look she gave him when she walked past him? Oh, my Lord. If looks could kill. Wow. Did you see the look she gave him when she walked past him? If not, rewind it like 30 seconds. She wanted to poke his eyeballs out. She wanted to poke his eyeballs out. First of all, she's like, Judge? And then she gets up and she walks past him. When she walked past, she's like looking at him like, how dare you? Bombastic side eye, like she was gonna shoot lasers. I know, right? His magic act sucks, says Elizabeth. I don't know, but yeah, there's blue suit guy. Super cute. He's giving me Chris Daughtry vibes. There we go. There's another celebrity who's who. I can't figure if Hannah gives me any kind of vibes. I mean, as far as like celebrity, who, I don't know who she would remind me of.
So, jurors, I'm going to instruct you to disregard the question that was previously asked by defense counsel. Attorney Tucker, you may proceed with your next question.
okay, let me mark these real quick.
He looks media Grinch because he's got that like lanyard on. Because the media always have to wear those like press badges. Ooh, that dude's got a bow tie on. Look at that. He's fancy. Yeah, he could definitely be a detective. He looks detective-ish. Steph wants to make sure he's not sore. He looks like he's worked out too much and he's sore and he needs a good muscle rub. Fancy. I know. Fancy, fancy. Who's the dude sitting right behind her? Which one? Him, the guy right there in the black and white Adidas with the bald head. I don't know who he is, but he looks like Michael Jordan to me. He looks like trouble. Elizabeth said he can search me anytime. Yeah, black sweatsuit. Tracksuit boyfriend. Nope, that's not the boyfriend. The boyfriend is on the other side. Because if you see, the guy in the tracksuit is actually on the prosecution side. And her boyfriend is actually the guy that is like 3 or 4 rows back, probably right directly across from tracksuit guy, and possibly Elizabeth, related to the victim.
If I may approach.
May I approach?
Hold on, what was I going to say? Oh, her boyfriend is got a long dark beard and has on like a gray jacket with a black top or something. Maybe he's there to support the family. Yeah, I mean, he's probably a friend but he is kind of sitting there off to himself. It's not like he's sitting with the family, you know?
And does those appear to be photos that you took of Miss Payne?
I had the county photographer, yes, sir.
Okay. And are those fair and accurate representations of the photos that you requested the county photographer to take?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at this time, Your Honor, I would request to tender exhibits 27 through 33.
Approach to review them, but we can send it there. Photographs
My
are basically the
goodness.
same, so it's
May we approach?
Okay. Do you want to approach to review that? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's just upset about this case and wanted to show up. Very possible. Very possible. Very possible. Yep. The blonde in the very, very back, sitting like back behind tracksuit guy. She must work for the courthouse, or she's like a police or court something or other, because whenever some guy came in earlier, she used one of those like temperature things on his forehead, like the kind that you like, the thermal ones or whatever. You never know. Tracksuit guy might be media too. The blonde that's behind him, the other blonde, she's looks like possible media. Elizabeth, yes, a thermometer.
Pardon me.
You're such a smart game.
Yes, you may.
Mm-hmm. Joanna, I think, yeah, it's open to the public.
Lower the lights so hopefully we can see this better without that glare.
Oh, they're dimming the lights.
Now,
We
do
get
you
to see
recognize
something.
that photograph?
I do.
Defendant exhibit number 27.
Yes, sir.
And is there a mark that is distinctive there in that photograph?
Yes, sir. I see a scratch mark going vertically and a fainter one going horizontally on the back of Miss Payne's neck.
Your Honor, instead of me, if you would not mind, you could come over here and point it out.
Is there some way for her to?
Right, but you can't see it on the screen. Instead of me just sitting there going like this.
There's a way for detective.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
those.
just point out.
So you have to do something to the screen so that it's like a little pin on there that I can draw with. I'm not quite sure how to do that.
I mean, I can see what they're talking about, but that picture quality is not great.
We have our IT. Okay, I think it would be.
No, they're talking about that big long scratch on the left-hand side of her neck, down her neck. It like runs the length of her neck.
Yeah, they usually, they do something over there and they pop up over here.
You had a court reporter do a drill again. That's very tough enough.
That's why she makes the big bucks, you know.
No.
I mean, our other IT guy, WDS, is here.
Right. This. Are you aware how to get the dots that they need the 3 dots? Because it's not the
I
instant.
appreciate it.
How many people does it take to run a copy or a overhead projector?
That she can mark on. And it will be able to show on the screen what she's pointing at or what she's marked.
Lord, I have to get the sheriff to come over there and do this for him. For them. What in the world?
There.
Over here, she could do it here.
Technical difficulties, right, Elizabeth?
There's mark over here.
Some people just turn red easily and others not so much. Grinch says it's Clayton County. They're not that bright.
And what color? What color would you like to use? Yellow, green, blue? Blue
Government
or
employees.
green or red?
Whatever you want to do, sir.
Which one shows it better? Okay.
Okay, Attorney Tucker, you get shown one time. You figure it out the next time. I'm not going to put the deputy.
He showed me what to do. I think I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, deputy.
Okay. All right. Hopefully that'll work on your screen there. If you could, yes,
There we
Carl.
go.
And that to you appeared to be
A scratch.
a scratch. Okay. Was there another scratch?
It's a lot fainter, but yes, it's right here.
And did you have an opportunity to measure the scratches?
The county photographer, I believe, had a ruler that he took a picture with. You should have those photos as well. You have these.
Trying to change out this one here.
Wouldn't you think? I thought so too, Elizabeth. It looked like a pickle. The way he drew that. But I just feel like if that's police, like that picture, the quality of that picture looks like it's from the 70s or 80s. It don't look, it's not a good quality photo.
There, I know how to put that.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to go to a new document. So what I just document camera. Well, you're on the document camera. So is that a fair and accurate representation of the measuring of that scratch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you see how many inches long that is?
The up and down one is approximately, I would say, 3.5 inches.
Okay. And did they happen to measure the other?
And that one horizontally would be approximately almost 3 inches.
And in the photographs, this is defense exhibit number 28.
Yes, sir.
What does that appear to be?
Like a, it's kind of pink, but it looks almost like it's swollen a little bit.
Okay, so, and that is her wrist?
That would be her right wrist, yes, sir.
Okay. And that is her right wrist?
Yes, sir.
And look here, defense exhibit number 30. Could you tell me what that is?
There's a small little mark right above her upper lip on her right side.
And that would appear to be something that occurred during an incident that left a mark on her lips.
Objection to that. You can't testify to that.
Your response?
All you can do is testify to what the photographs are.
I'll rephrase it.
Okay, so objection sustained, you can rephrase.
I missed it. What
This picture
did
would be necessary, correct?
he ask
I
that
was
she
wanting
objected
to document
to?
any injury, yes, sir.
And looking at this picture, is there an injury in that picture?
There's a small, I don't know what to call it, is a small mark above her lip.
Okay. And in this picture here, can you tell me what that's a picture of?
That's Miss Payne's face,
Okay.
but there was some pinkness right there.
Does there appear to be any swelling in this area here?
I couldn't say because I didn't know what she looked like prior to taking the picture, but yes, it appears that there's some discoloration.
Yeah. And this would be a fair and accurate representation of the shirt that she was wearing.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And what's a depiction of that?
The shirt was torn.
And are the buttons ripped off?
It's been so long, I don't recall what the shirt would have looked like before, but there was clearly, at the very top, there was clearly like where something joined, but I'm not sure if it was buttons or if it was like sewn. I'm not sure, sir.
So it's fair to say that the cloth here had been torn apart from the other side of the shirt.
In the middle, where it's a V, yes.
Okay, and these, you requested to have the photographer take pictures of, correct?
Of the what, sir?
Is there an objection?
Yeah, my request is that he remove, if he's going to be questioning, take the exhibit down.
These were all photographs that you requested,
I don't know. I get more injuries on
I
my
did.
so
arms
you felt these were relevant?
from carrying in
and
groceries.
Evidence?
Relevant and sufficient?
Well, to start, do you feel that this was evidence that needed to be documented?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm one of
And
those.
did you feel that those were fair depictions of all of the injuries or some of the injuries?
Oh,
All.
I'm one of those that tries to carry all the groceries in at once, so I like put all the groceries up my arm. So by the time I get in the house, I got more marks on my arms than she had on her neck.
If I may correct Your Honor.
You may.
So she disregarded what 911 told her and followed the man. She approached the man with a loaded gun. She punched the man. She shot and killed the man.
Did
WTAF.
these appear to be
This
other
is so messed
photos
up.
that were taken of Ms. Payne?
on the same day. Yes, sir.
Okay. And are these
Hey,
fair
Foxy
and accurate
She-Devil.
representations of what you saw being photographed?
It is.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I would tender Defense Exhibit number 34 and 35.
Any objection from the state?
Objection.
Okay.
And if I
Without objection.
if I may present.
Yes, you may call.
And that is a picture of,
Foxy She-Devil says, I'm so invested now.
That's her. That would be her right hand.
okay. And do there appear to be any marks around the knuckles?
It appears to be slightly discolored and possibly a little swollen.
Okay. And do you see any distinct marks around that?
I'm not sure if it's a vein or if it's a mark, but there's a more darker discoloration below her pointer finger, over some.
Well, and
No,
he
oh,
is
no,
literally
yeah, that is a little discolored as well.
pointing
I'm
it.
talking about down below her knuckle. You're coming.
Okay,
you're
wait a
not
minute.
even over here.
I
No,
gotta
you're
pause
nowhere
this
near
for a
right
second
here.
because I don't want to interrupt it.
I don't know if I can draw on it still. No, I cannot.
So what I'm wanting to say is he is literally pointing out the fact that she has possibly swollen fingers and knuckles. He's proving the fact that she punched him. Or potentially got her hand racked up on the side of the window or whatever, but like he's just proving more to the case that she's got swollen knuckles because she was punching someone. Sorry. Why not move away from the things that aren't that visible if you're wanting to be her defense and talk more about and maybe there is and we just haven't heard it yet, but talk more about the things that would make more sense to talk about as far as her injuries, if she has any more, that would not connect her with it being, you know what I'm saying? She's got swollen knuckles because she was punching somebody aggressively, according to several witnesses. Okay, I'm going to shut up and push play.
Are you able to draw?
Here is where I was speaking of, but yeah, there is a little discoloration. It looks a little swollen, and there's some discoloration on her fingers as well, between her fingers, I should say.
Do you notice anything to the, I guess it would be or to the side of that you just circled?
I honestly can't tell if it's a photograph or not, but it would appear there's discoloration there, and there, and there.
And that would be in the webbing of her hand?
Like, between the fingers, yes.
Okay. And that would appear that there's possibly some cuts from the palm coming out, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said you could see
Discoloration and possible swelling.
Okay. And does it appear to be coming from the palm of the hand out? Between where you circled the webs of the finger?
Oh, like inside the fingers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And those wouldn't be from the external of the hand, it would be coming from the palm of the hand, correct?
I would think it was where your fingers were together or something was between your fingers.
Well, I'm glad you found us, Foxy
And-
She-Devil.
It appears that they've been cut. Does it appear they've been...
No, it would, to me, I've worked a lot of different types of crimes. I don't know if I can testify to that, but if that's okay, it would appear to be swelling and like blunt force to me.
Would it appear as if a finger was being pulled away from the other fingers that could cause that kind of tear or rip?
It does not appear to be torn or ripped to me, sir. It appears to be like almost where a bruise is coming up, where like blunt force was applied.
Inside the webbing, correct?
That's what it would appear to me.
Okay.
Bruise type injuries.
And that is in the webbing, I just think they're inside the webbing.
If you want me to be specific, yeah, this one would be in the I would call that webbing. I would call that just between, you don't call them knuckles, yeah, I guess knuckles, and then that would just be on her, I guess, the inside of her thumb.
And on this,
Elizabeth, yes, he is a diabetic. He was fleeing the scene because he was apparently in a diabetic shock.
learn something new every day.
One of the witnesses that first
This
came
guy
on the
here.
scene was
That's her answer. There you go.
Okay. Defendant's exhibit number 35. Is there anything that's significant of that picture?
The significance for that picture for me would be the fact that her jeans had dirt or grease on them.
And they appear to be in a circle.
This picture is, I think if you had the picture that came from Warren Bond, it would be more visible, but there's definitely
sorry,
dirt
I
and
stopped
grease,
my answer in halfway.
I would say above her knee and below, in her thigh area on the front.
And what was the condition of the outside of the truck?
The truck was,
Dakota truck.
there's photographs of it, but it was partially red and it was partially, I think you call it primer gray. It was not a clean vehicle.
So it's possible these ink or grease spots to come from when the knees were against the door.
And again, Judge, speculation. Your response, Attorney Chuck?
I don't think it's speculation. They took a picture of this for a reason, and therefore I would like to know what the reason is. And I was putting up a reason and see if that was correct, and if not, she can answer why they took pictures.
And again, it requires you to guess as to how the dirt got on the defendant's jeans.
It does call for speculation, so I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay.
Attorney Tucker.
So, but you felt this was significant to take a picture.
I did.
Okay, Elizabeth, see you soon, hopefully. Love you.
And of all the contents,
Prosecution
of the
still
inside of the
rolling her
truck,
eyes. Oh my Lord, did you
nothing
see
was really taken as
her roll her head? She rolled her.
Question about what was taken on the truck over and over and over again.
I've seen the inventory sheet, which I handed to her.
She
Okay,
rolled
an
her whole
inventory
head.
sheet. I see a lot of
Her
pictures.
whole head and
I'm not
eyes.
sure if one or two of those pictures they did take as inventory.
Yeah, what
because
Steph
it's kind of
said. Sorry.
miscellaneous. It doesn't really specifically say. So I'm trying to narrow it down to find out specifically, out of this miscellaneous, was there anything taken that they took pictures of?
I'm going to sustain the objection, Attorney Tucker, because I think this has repeatedly said what was taken and what was not taken. So if you ask your next question.
Sorry, I was gonna answer, but then that picture came up, and I was trying to concentrate because I didn't know what they were gonna say about what was on her leg.
no further questions.
Thank you, Attorney Tucker. Does the state have any redirect for this witness?
Judge, do you know what defendant Kenneth Herring, what her neck looked like on May the 6th of 2019?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Do you know what her hands looked like on May the 6th of 2019?
No, ma'am.
Do you know what her jeans looked like on May the 6th of 2019?
No, ma'am, I do not.
As part of your investigation, were you aware that after the shooting, the defendant put on a different shirt
I was, yes, ma'am.
that would have to go over her head and near her neck?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she's gonna say that that's what made the marks on her instead of Mr. Herring.
Just one moment, but I'll be a little bit clear about. Approach with State's Exhibit number 28.
You may.
You were asked about this knife that was photographed as
Ooh,
well.
here we go.
Can you display, I'm just going to do it from here because I'm not going to try that machine.
Yes, ma'am.
Behind the driver's
Driver's
seat,
seat.
which is kind of smushed back against the back seat, would you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
There's bag,
Yes, ma'am.
some cables,
Yes, ma'am.
and the butt of this knife is shoved down in a bag, or in that area, correct?
Behind the seat. Yes, ma'am.
You were shown photographs of the defendant's hand
Yes, ma'am.
and her fingers.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that's the state of her fingernails when the defendant first arrived at the Clayton County Police Department?
No, ma'am, it is not.
What was the state of the defendant's fingernails when she first arrived at the Clayton County Police Department?
She had on long fingernails, ma'am.
Fake nails?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
So any of the things that you photographed on the defendant's face, arm, any of that, you do not know what she looked like earlier in the day on May the 7th of 2019. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, and to be fair too, if he was trying to get to the hospital,
And as
he
you
may-
described, the knife that was taken.
he may not have even known what he was
Shoved down
doing
between cables
if
or
his
not.
sugar was either
It was
too high or too
accessible.
low.
You could reach back there and grab it.
It was
Correct.
behind the driver's seat, but just to the right side.
So it was accessible.
I couldn't say. I don't know how long his arms were, but I would think so. Yes.
Okay. And all these pictures you took or you had taken, you felt were important, correct?
To document that. Yes, I would say yes.
Okay. So you felt that there was significance in it to document it for the case.
I did.
Is that further?
Does the state have any other questions for this witness?
No, Judge, should she be released?
Yes, Detective Moore, thank you.
Well, you think there's going to be much more discussion about this knife?
Does the state have another witness?
We do, Judge, it might be lengthy, but I'm fine to get started, and if we need to break, we can break.
Okay, I think it is appropriate to give a break at this time. The jurors have been sitting for a while. I'm going to make it a very short break. It's now 2:15. If you could be back by 2:30, then we'll resume.
Right, Steph, here we go again. Let me ask again with different words. Foxy says, I have had low sugar, and I know without a doubt I've been unable to process rational thoughts. My only thought was, I need something with sugar. See, that my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, God love her heart, she had diabetes. And I'd mentioned this earlier today. She had diabetes, and she would get into spots like where all of a sudden she would just come to and not realize it. And here she's just laying in the floor, you know, and come to herself and realize she had either passed out, come to herself, wasn't able, like couldn't have rational thoughts. And she said that's kind of like her, like inner, like instinctively, it's like her body knew she needed something with sugar. And, you know, it was awful. I mean, she did that outside. I remember one time she like got so weak, she was like having to crawl on her like patio floor to get inside the house. And yeah, it was bad. Bad. Hey, Chaotic. How are you, beautiful? How are you? They're taking a 15, 20 minutes. What time did she tell me back? I forget what time she told him to be back. I think she was giving him 20 minutes. Something like that. Oh, Poppy is over here snoring. And having a dream, it sounds like. How are you, Miss Chaotic Crafting? Crafting. Oh, okay, so 2:30, so 10 minutes. 9 minutes now. Glad it's the weekend. How are you feeling, Vanessa? How are you feeling? How are the kiddos feeling? So, yeah. I still have a crick in my neck. I tried to like squeeze it out earlier, but nah. Still there. I'm glad it's the weekend too, though. It's Friday night. It'll be Friday night. And Abigail will be live tonight. And then T-Mall will be live tonight. And yeah. I think I'm going to do some Christmas shopping this weekend via Amazon and Walmart.com. Feel like they are really reaching with the knife thing. If I drop something and it falls behind my seat, my Jeep owns it until I get out and dig for it. True. That's happened. Yes. Same. But, Mickey will be wine tonight. So, Grinch in here earlier said he thought that there are supposedly her fingerprints on his knife. So, we're waiting to hear if that comes out. Steph's going to Red Robin, yum. Is that the right commercial or no? Is that a different? Is Red Robin and the Yum part two different places? Chaotic is still coughing a lot, but that's the only leftover symptom. Feels like it will hang on for a while yet. Appetite is fully back now. Chowing down on a couple samosas for lunch while I listen in. What are samosas? I've heard of that, but what are they? Are those Girl Scout cookies? Is that what that is? So he may have grabbed it and she knocked it out of his hand. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking if there are fingerprints on that knife of her, if her fingerprints are on that knife, I don't know though. Samoas. Okay, so what's a samosa? But what I'm thinking is if her actual fingerprints are on the knife, the prints have ridges. So that means she would have had, right? Am I thinking right? That she would have had to have like had it, like fully touched it enough. Like knocking it out of somebody's hand, you might have touched DNA on it, but are you going to have actual like ridge, like full print DNA? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Same thing. We don't have any by us, and I'm dying for Red Robin. I don't know that I've ever been to Red Robin. Yum. Steph says, I think the Girl Scouts are the Samoas. And then Grinch says, that's my understanding. You know how the telephone game works. Yeah, I know how the telephone game works. 100%. I know. And it's, sometimes it can be a good thing, and sometimes it can be a bad thing, because this is the first I've heard about the knife thing. But it could be a case where If it doesn't get brought in, then there has to be scientific evidence that says it's not credible, you know? See if it gets brought in. I think she would have had cuts on her hand if she grabbed it. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Samosas are apparently South Asian savory pastries. Oh, it's, I'm going to mess this up. Punjabi, a pastry filled with curry and veggies, sort of thing. Well, that sounds fancy. Fancy pantsy. Grinch says that's why I'm watching the trial, see what's put out. Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Gotcha. I understand. And it's got to be hard whenever, you know, you have people that you know. I mean, we see trials every day, right? We see them all the time. I mean, I watch trials like all the time. And it's hard to understand. I mean, I guess it's not hard to understand. It's just, it's easy to kind of put it out of your mind that those people on both sides of the situation, you know, do have real life friends and families. It's not like these people are playing in a, you know, parts of a movie. So it's got to be hard to sit back and listen, you know, to all of that. And it really, I have to tell you, it checked me whenever you came in. You know, it really checked me. And I appreciate that because, you know, I'm never the kind of person that would like intentionally do or say things just to be mean or ugly. And it's always good to understand. Because you know what? I've got friends and family that have done bad things. You know what I mean? And if it were them, it would be really difficult to go into a YouTube channel and hear somebody talking bad about them. So, is it possible she grabbed it after she shot him? Like he was going to stab me? Look, I'm just throwing it out there. If she knew she made a mistake, that's very possible. Possible she grabbed it after she shot. Okay, I'm trying to envision this. Because then this is another thing. You know, like Tammy was mentioning yesterday, why didn't they stop her? Why didn't they stop it from happening? You know, this, that, and the other. But it's easy to sit back and look at it that way because we've been spending hours watching this trial. This situation happened I mean, I know he walked around the truck and then got in and then took off. But that whole, like, her in the window, the punching, the shooting, the whatever he grabbed and fought back, whatever, that all happened in a matter of seconds. You know what I mean? And people are probably literally standing there like with their mouths wide open, in shock that they're witnessing this, especially when they hear a gunshot, and they probably did not have time to react. You know? Is it possible? Okay, so I read Grinch's comment. Foxy said, is it possible she grabbed the knife, after she shot him like he was going to stab me? Look, I'm just throwing it out there. If she knew she made a mistake. And then Grinch says she would have had blood on her had she done that. You mean grab the knife afterwards? Hmm. Gotcha. Well, wait a minute. Possible that she grabbed it after she shot him, like he was gonna stab me. Look. I mean, maybe not, Grinch. Maybe she wouldn't have had blood on her hands. I don't know. The person should have used DNA, I'm sure, but I don't know, honestly. Yeah. It depends on the condition of the knife, too. Yeah. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody know if there is actual, like they've showed these videos of the incident happening, right? Or I don't know if there's photo. I know there's video, but is that like that one guy was videoing?
Here are some results.
Alexa, shut up. I don't know why. What did I say that made her do that? I don't know. Between her and Siri on my phone, now watch, she's gonna turn on. Between those two, they drive me crazy. They should have used DNA instead of prints. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, but what I was going to ask, or what I was in the process of saying when Alexa so rudely interrupted me, was, is there a video that's out there of showing the actual altercation? Because they didn't show an actual video here. You know, I haven't Googled to see if there's one floating around anywhere. Sometimes that stuff gets leaked. Sometimes it's out there and you can see, you know, but I haven't looked. I have not looked. You haven't seen one? Okay. I don't know. Shouldn't they be back by now? See, they're always so late. Well, they're not too late. I've seen some, I've watched some trials where they're literally like forever late. And that is so frustrating. Well, see, now it's showing a play button. Play. Nada, nada. Nada, nada. I thought the guy on the stand this morning said the pics they were showing him were from a video. I could be wrong. I thought so too, Kel, but I don't know that he got the entire thing on video. Yeah, I don't know. Grinch says, I haven't seen anything even from them. Okay. Well, they are, I don't know. They might not be allowed to share anything, but also, I mean, I know how it is, you know, with family and friends that are close, but I don't know. I don't know. It might exist, but it comes down to what they've established as admissible, right? Okay. Well, that's what I meant, that's what I meant, Kel and Grinch, as far as the video. They did show video and they showed it in the courtroom, but they didn't show the feed publicly. So that to the screen, to the media, to the, like they, you know, the media in the courtroom wasn't allowed to show that, stream that part. We could hear it, we just couldn't see it. But I didn't know if it had been leaked, you know, on Google. You can find all kinds of stuff if you want to, but yeah. Yep. Hmm. I want to get some back to the Christmas shopping topic. Oh, hold on, my hubba. Oh. He smiled at me whenever you want to say hi. He said hi.
Put that studio in use.
I know, babe. Right on air. Because of tag numbers and all, I'm sure of others not involved. It'd be like the second witness. Yeah. Yeah, the shopping. I have not done any either, Tammy. But we plan on doing some this weekend. So Dale got a Christmas bonus at work. Thank God. I was like, woo-hoo. Yeah, baby. Because we had, you know, the whole like homeowners insurance coming out this month. And then my van took a giant dump. And it's literally just sitting in the garage. So that's got to get fixed. And it all happens like right before Christmas, right? So he got a Christmas bonus at work. And I was like, yes, baby. Just in time. So, but I got plenty of shopping to do. Because last year I waited. And there was a few things that was supposed to have been here, like by Christmas Eve, and they didn't. Didn't happen. So I have to, you know, try to get the shopping done a little bit earlier. Yeah. But at my house, I can't wrap any of the presents until the night before Christmas because, yeah. The kids won't stay out of them. And Eli will literally open everything up, just, yeah, thinking it's his. And that's happened before. That has happened before, so. And Jolie's just like, oh, just let me have it. So, we have car insurance. My microwave went on the blink. Garbage disposal on the blink. Oh, no. Why does everything poopy like that have to happen in December? That's no fun. No fun at all. Not at all. All right. Well, you guys, since they are still on break, I'm going to leave the stream and audio up. I'm going to go stretch my back for a minute because I'm trying to get a little bit of a in my back and my neck. Yeah. Go give my husband a kiss on the whips or something, the lips. So, I will be right back though. I will take my phone so I can hear when it starts back, and you guys will hear it when it starts back. All right? And I'm going to look and see if I can find a pair of headphones, because when I take my AirPod out, if I wear my AirPod through the house, I get too far away from my laptop and it like stops the stream, right? But if I take my AirPod out and I go to walk off, it stops the stream too, because it's like when I touch it, it automatically starts and stops the stream. And so I'm thinking maybe if I have headphones, I can just quickly and easily put them off and on. I don't know. So, but I will be right back. And here comes the judge. So.
Counsel's ready to proceed? Yes, Judge. Okay. You can bring the jurors in. Thank you, Bailiff Innes. Yes. Yes, you may. You may be seated. Thank you. State may call its next witness.
State House Sergeant Ryan Richie. Please remain seated. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give before the court in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can take your hand down. When you get situated, if you would please introduce yourself to the jury.
I'm Sergeant Ryan Richie of the Clayton County Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Clayton County Police Department?
10 years now.
And is that the length of time that you have been in law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you a post-certified law enforcement officer?
I am.
What is your job description now at the Clayton County Police Department?
Now I'm a supervisor on Uniform Patrol Division.
And what was your job description back on May the 7th of 2019?
I was a road officer in the Uniform Patrol Division.
And does that mean basically you wear a uniform similar to the one that you're wearing today?
Yes, ma'am.
Drive a marked patrol vehicle?
Yes.
And does that generally entail responding to various calls of various natures?
Yes.
And did you work very late last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay. On May the 7th of 2019, around 6:15 p.m., were you working a traffic situation in and around the intersection of Forest Parkway and Interstate 285?
Yes, I was.
Describe what the situation is and what y'all were doing to begin with.
I'm not sure what the incident was on the interstate, but we had to block that ramp getting on to 285 East so that no cars could go down there and get traffic even more backed up than it already was.
And so what did that mean that you were doing in that area?
We just were parked stationary with our lights on, making sure people didn't turn down that entrance ramp to the interstate.
And when you say we, who else was there?
That was myself and Sergeant Marion.
Were y'all in one patrol vehicle or two?
2 vehicles.
Or were you wearing a uniform as well?
Yes, I was.
Did something happen that drew your attention to another area on Deer Riverdale Road and Forest Parkway.
Yes, I was flagged down by a citizen that informed me there had been a vehicle accident and someone had been shot.
And what did you do in response?
Spun around, informed the sergeant, and drove down to that incident location.
And what was that incident location?
That was Riverdale Road and Forest Parkway in the far right northbound lane.
And is the area that you went to where you observed what appeared to be a traffic situation, is that location, that specific location in Clayton County?
Yes, it is.
When you first arrive, kind of describe what you initially see.
There's a large crowd of people, obviously the two vehicles that appeared to have collided, and there were other vehicles pulled over to the side to, I guess, assist with the situation, and multiple witnesses pointing to a red pickup truck saying that the man inside had been shot.
Did you do anything to see if you could determine who had fired a shot?
Yes, I asked who shot him, and that's when Miss Payne stated I did, and handed me her firearm, her license, and her Georgia concealed carry permit.
And you indicated Ms. Payne, is that person sitting in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
And could you identify where she's sitting and describe her by an article of clothing?
A little off to my right in a green top with some texturing on the sleeves.
Let the record reflect that the officer has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect.
And during the course of this encounter, you indicated that the defendant handed you IDs and things along those lines. Did they identify the defendant as Hannah Payne?
Yes.
Did you, after you received the firearm, etc., where did you go next?
Went to Mr. Herring's vehicle, the driver's side door. For some reason, I couldn't get it open. I'm not sure what the issue was there, but trying to assess him as far as his injuries.
And you were unable to open that driver's side door?
Correct.
How did you gain access?
I went around to the passenger side and tried to help from that side.
Do you recall whether or not the vehicle was either in gear or whether there were keys in the ignition? What do you recall about that?
I don't recall if it was in gear or if there were keys in the ignition.
And were there documents in the vehicle that identify the person in that vehicle as Kenneth Herring?
Yes.
Was Mr. Herring responsive to you?
He was not.
And what did you do?
We're trying to identify where his gunshot wound was and basically what was going on with him, as long as trying to get the driver's side door open.
And was an paramedics or EMT or an ambulance requested?
Yes, they were.
And what were you doing in order to assist Mr. Herring prior to the arrival of the ambulance and paramedics?
Apply pressure to his wound, and well, initially I was looking for something to apply that pressure with. I didn't find anything, and another officer arrived with some gauze to help out with that.
And were there also civilians assisting you with Mr. Herring?
Yes.
Before the paramedics arrived?
Yes.
Did Mr. Herring ever say anything while you were there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you observe anything in Mr. Herring's hands when you arrived?
I did not.
The firearm that was handed to you by the defendant, did you keep that firearm and place it into evidence?
Yes, I did.
Prior to doing so, did you do what's called clear the gun?
I did.
Tell us what that means.
It means when you eject the magazine and then rack the slide to eject the round that's in the chamber.
And why do you do that?
To make sure the gun is completely unloaded and safe.
And did you make any observations when you attempted to clear the handgun in this particular case?
I did when I ejected the round that was in there, which would have been a live round if the gun cycled properly. It was a spent shell casing inside the chamber.
And what, based on your training or knowledge of weapons, what does that mean if the shell casing remains in the chamber?
That just means the slide didn't make it back far enough to eject that shell casing out.
Were you familiar with, as this investigation is ongoing, the defendant, Hannah Payne, being detained on that scene?
Yes.
Did you also have the vehicles impounded so that they could be searched?
Yes, ma'am.
And you indicated there were several people standing around. Were there any people that were standing around that indicated they had seen what occurred?
Yes, there were.
Did you hand out pieces of paper or forms for them to write statements on?
Yes, we did.
Did you also take photographs of the general, or have photographs taken of the general area, the scene, and both vehicles?
Yes, ma'am. The county photographer did.
Okay. I want to show these to council on break, but I'm going to approach with states 7 through 14. You would look through states exhibits 7 through 14 to tell me if they fairly and accurately depict what you observed on May 7th of 2019.
They do.
At this time, State Representative states 7 through 14.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I believe one of them is repetitive to a picture I've said previously tendered. I'm not sure what the harm would be showing it again, but I think it is repetitive of one of my previous.
So is there an objection to that particular one?
I think it's almost the same picture. Just bring it to the court that it's repetitive.
Okay. So I'm going to admit that.
May I publish it?
Yes, you may.
Using states exhibit number 7. You have screen, but I'm going to just be pointing because it makes everyone's life easier.
Okay.
Is this the location where you found the vehicles when you first arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you kind of describe the lanes and the intersection that we're looking at?
This lane on the right-hand side that the pickup truck is in is the turning lane from Forest Parkway onto Riverdale Road northbound.
Okay. And the black Jeep?
The black Jeep is mostly in the lane to the left of that, which is a straight through lane through that intersection northbound.
And using states exhibit number 8, what angle have we moved to at this point?
This is, the picture is facing southbound now.
In front of the, and I'm asking, I know we can all see it, but for the record, is this from the, in front of the two vehicles?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe what you see about the wheels of the Jeep?
They're angled to the right.
Are they angled toward the pickup truck?
Yes.
And do you see there's some, the vehicles appear to be touching at the back. Would that be accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And states exhibit number 9. Let's let it focus. Okay. Describe what we're looking at in states exhibit number 9.
That is the victim's vehicle.
And in addition to where the two vehicles are touching on the driver's side of the victim's vehicle and the passenger side rear of the defendant's vehicle,
Okay, we're not froze. I need assistance. It's not frozen. I paused it for a quick second. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Hold on. We're going to test something. If you guys will let me try this. I have a pair of headphones. So I'm going to plug them in. When I plug them in, I need to know if it will let you guys still hear the stream, or if it's going to like ask me in my settings, okay, to allow it. So let me plug this in and we'll see what happens. Okay, hold on a minute. Sorry. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, let me put these on. I don't want to have to wear headphones, but I will if I have to. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, headphones built in. All right, I think it might work. So now let me go back real quick and see if you guys can hear this, okay? Was sweater vest guy smiling? Oh, I missed that part. Her Jeep was pretty though. I like the Jeep. I do like the Jeep. All right. Now let me go back and push play. See what happens. Let me know if you can hear it, okay?
Is there obvious other damage to Mr. Herring's vehicle?
Yes.
And does there appear to be
Let me know if you can
over
hear
the
that.
ground some fluids and whatever coming out of that vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you say if some of these photographs or most of these
Okay, good deal.
photographs
Yay.
were taken
Awesome sauce.
after a lot
Thank
of the
you.
witnesses and the traffic had kind of left the area?
That's correct.
And State's Exhibit number 10, can you just kind of describe what we're looking at in State's Exhibit number 10?
This is through the driver's side window of the victim's vehicle after he had been transported out by EMS.
And to your knowledge, was that window down when you arrived?
It was.
And you can see some gloves and kind of some evidence of the medical intervention.
Yes.
Is that correct? Did you also see inside the vehicle what appeared to be some sort of work ID that Mr. Herring had been wearing when he was shot?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that kind of removed and located in the vehicle with a bullet hole?
It was.
And did y'all also kind of photograph from the other side, from the looking from the passenger side, some items that were just the content and the state of the victim's vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we're looking at in State's Exhibit number 12.
Correct.
And this one might be the repeat, but did you also kind of photograph the center console and just the entire front passenger compartment of the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am, from the county photographer.
Was it photographed? I guess that's the better way to say it. Okay. Did you also observe basically what the back of Mr. Herring's vehicle looked like on the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
So we see, for the record, a laundry basket, what appears to be a trash bag, and some other items. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's basically how his vehicle looked when you arrived to that accident location in Forest Parkway.
Yes, it was.
In Clayton County, let me say that. During the course of your time on the scene, did you realize or become aware that this situation was related to a traffic accident further down the road?
Yes, I believe our dispatchers came over and said that the victim's vehicle matched the description of that vehicle.
Okay. And did you have anything to do with that other scene at all?
I did not.
Your Honor, the state, with a record, the state is about to approach the witness with a firearm. That firearm has been cleared and inspected by your courtroom deputies to ensure that it is safe to be in this courtroom.
Okay, thank you, Chief Assistant.
And I've also allowed inspection by counsel during the break.
Okay.
So my approach was State's Exhibit number 15. You would look at State's Exhibit number 15.
Pretty common, Dawn, in
Let me know if
Georgia
you
and
recognize State's Exhibit number 15.
other southern states. It's pretty common. It's
And how do you
even for
recognize State's
girls.
Exhibit number 15?
This is what I entered into evidence.
Okay, and does it contain the box itself? Does it have your name on it indicating that you recovered State's Exhibit number 15?
Yes, it does.
And other than the fact that it has labels and indications that the firearm has been to the crime lab for testing, is the firearm in the same or substantially the same condition as it was once you cleared it and made sure that it was unloaded?
Yes.
Under this time, State tenders State's Exhibit 15.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
And other than the fact that it has zip ties through the barrel and it is zip tied to the box, this would be the condition of that firearm. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to leave the magazine here on the table, but can you turn the box and display the firearm to the jury, please?
Security in there.
Yes. Can you tell us the make and model of this firearm?
The Springfield XD9,
And what is the caliber?
9mm.
Did you also recover the rounds that were contained in the magazine, plus the shell casing and the holster that the gun was in?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Showing you what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibits 16, 17, and 18. Can you look at 16 first? And tell me if you recognize 16.
It's the holster that it was in.
And is that an item that was handed to you that you placed into evidence for this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it in the same or substantially the same condition, other than the fact that the gun is removed from it, as when it was handed to you on May the 7th of 2019?
It is.
State tenders State's Exhibit number 16.
Any objection?
I couldn't see from back here.
This
No.
is the same one I showed you during the break.
No objection.
Okay, admitted without objection.
And the rounds that were removed from the magazine that we've seen in State's Exhibit number 15, did you also collect those as State's Exhibit number 17?
Yes, ma'am.
State tender State's Exhibit number 17.
Any objection? Okay, admitted without objection.
And did you also, as you indicated, when you tried to clear the gun, there was a shell casing that was next up to fire versus an actual round. Did you place that shell casing in evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you what's labeled as State's Exhibit number 18. Can you look at the other side and see if it indicates that that is an item that you placed into evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you alter it or tamper with it in any way?
I did not.
State tender State's Exhibit number 18.
If I could just get provide a closer look at it, I'm not seeing it.
Okay,
On that
okay.
objection.
I haven't, if you can.
That's a no objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, admitted without objection.
May I ask the deputy if the gun goes with him? I don't know where they want us to leave a firearm. We're required to keep guns and ammo separate.
Right.
Back on May the 7th of 2019, can you describe whether you had a body camera?
I did.
How did those body cameras work, to your knowledge?
Similar to the ones that we wear now. I believe these are upgraded, but it's just activated by a push button on a remote, and then it records until it's turned off.
Okay. And how are the recordings kept?
They're automatically uploaded to a cloud that our department keeps record of.
And once it's uploaded to that cloud, do you have any ability to go in there and delete things, change things, alter things at all?
No, ma'am.
Were you wearing your department-issued body cam
Yes.
on May the 7th of 2019?
Yes, I was.
And have you had an opportunity to observe and view the recording of that body cam?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the recording fairly and accurately depict what you recall as it occurred as you were working this scene?
Yes, it does.
Showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit number 19. Do you recognize State's Exhibit number 19?
Yes, I do.
And other than the fact that it's labeled Officer Richie BWC, which is body worn camera, does it have your initials indicating that you viewed it?
Yes, it does.
And when you viewed State's Exhibit number 19, it contained what you observed?
Yes.
Going at this time, state would tender State's Exhibit number 19 with the caveat, as we discussed pre-trial, the state is tendering up until minute 13 with 13 and 15 seconds.
And I briefly approach to next week.
Okay, you may.
So this is the good stuff. I like when we start getting into this good stuff, you know? Just the different, like the forensic evidence-y things that are, you know, the good stuff, the good stuff. Welcome back. Sherry, welcome back, welcome back. I sing that song, Welcome Back. It's from Welcome Back, Kotter, which is an old TV show, okay? And I know probably a lot of you in here will remember that, but like Abigail, not so much, not so much. And probably Grinch, if he's still here, probably not. I bet he's too young to remember that too. But Welcome Back, Kotter was a really good TV show. I've got to run, Gail said. I'll be back, she said in her best Arnold voice. I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah, Sherry and Dawn remember Welcome Back, Kotter. Welcome back, Mr. Kotter. Let's see. What did I miss? Did I miss anything in the chat earlier? You guys were talking about the license to carries, and you guys were telling me that you could hear me. So the cool thing about the headphones is that, like I said earlier, when I have my AirPods in, I have to have something in so that it doesn't like interfere with the echo, you know, because I have this on and then the like feedback from the actual audio of the video stream, right? So when I wear my AirPods and I need to get up and leave, I'd have to take them out because the farther away I get from my computer, the Bluetooth splits off and then it makes the video stop. Or it makes the audio stop. It makes the audio disconnect from the video. But then if I just take my AirPods out, then by me doing that, that's some kind of setting on the AirPods that whenever you take an AirPod out, it like pauses whatever video you're watching, which I know that there's ways to fix to make it not do that. But anyway, I was like, so I went in there and I stole Eli's headphones out of his bedroom. He don't even use them anymore. And these are just cheapy, like that On brand from Walmart, that ONN brand from Walmart.
State Exhibit number 19 from the beginning for minute 13, 13:15.
And I would raise the objection we had the technician to understand the courtroom.
Okay. All right. So the record will reflect
Yes, and it's submitted.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonder if we get to
Permission to
see.
publish, Judge?
Wonder if we get to see this body cam footage. If they're
No,
going to
Kenneth
show
is
it to
gonna
us.
sit while it's playing.
Okay.
So you'll only speak for 13 minutes.
Oh, they're having a very important conversation right there. I wonder what they're talking about. Anybody read lips in here? Anybody can read lips? Calling? Sorry, you guys. I'm just going to say, I don't know what we're going to see here. There may be some very graphic. Hold on. I'm putting a comment. Let me, I thought that they were going to X stuff out. Hold on. They don't usually do this. So let me, hold on. Let me put a banner up really quick because I don't want, I don't want to get in trouble. So we're going to put a banner up that says viewer discretion advised or something of that nature. Hold on. Let me change that to say something different. Let me put, what is that normal like phrase that people uses? What is that? Graphic. Somebody help me. What is it that they say? That graphic, something about graphic. What is it that they say? Video may be graphic or something like that. I don't know. Footage may contain graphic. Okay, thank you. That's good. Let me write that because I need to put something. Because Mm. Save it there. Sorry. That's too big, though. I need to make it smaller. Let me make it smaller so it's not like so in your face. Hold on, guys. Thank you for your patience. I know you guys are really wanting to get to this. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Graphic content. Yes, something like that. Viewer discretion, graphic. Okay, thank you guys so much. So much. Now we will resume.
Stay with me, okay? Not the one that anyway, she kept reaching in. ladies in a minute. Come down southbound 5, we're south traffic. Stay with me, man, okay? Stay with me. All right. Try to get somebody to replace this guy. If you can put your hand, what do you got your hand on my hand? I'll tell you, you got his pulse. All right, here's my message. Hey, we're gonna switch places, sir. All right. Ready? Can you tell me anything? I'm good. You too, man. Something happens, please. Come on, sir. Stay with me, okay? Just keep breathing. Hey, what's your name? Just keep breathing, man, okay? Another word, just keep breathing. Come on, like you do, okay? See the hell, the bullet come down off your phone, down there. That's a murder. Come on, stay with me, man. Keep breathing, okay? Any $39 or anything? He's probably got a wallet in his pocket. He's... There you go. Below you? Yeah. I'm assuming so. So stay with me, man. Hang tight. Come on, sir. Just keep breathing, okay? Keep breathing. I'm strong breathing. We got you now. We got you now. That's them coming up right now. Did I pull somewhat here? Yes. It's going to be the belly button. Down area. Come on, man. Keep breathing, okay? Just focus on me right now. Keep breathing. That's all you gotta do. Hey. 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 Keep your eyes open. Let me see you breathe. Breathe for you. Breathing, man. Stay with us. Hey, come on, stay with me. Hey, we got one. You gotta wait. We got one gunshot here. Super weak pulse. Barely breathing. We just found what happened. They got no wreck in the lady. They got hit out of it. Barely. We got a single entry room right here. I don't know if there's an exit. We haven't been able to move it far enough to find out. Where's that hallway? Come on, man. Keep moving, all right? Keep moving, it's going to be okay. Keep moving. You got it, man. Where's my guy? Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that was
traffic
brutal.
conditions that we were just kind of viewing in the body cam, was that more consistent with like all the cars and everything that were around on that particular day?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall, after watching the body cam that we just watched, seeing yourself take the keys out of the ignition and put them on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's all I have this time, Judge.
Any cross-examination, Attorney Tucker?
I don't understand why they wouldn't show
Still
that
officers, lieutenant yet, or
Sergeant.
the video footage of the actual altercation if they're going to show that full body
I noticed
cam,
in
you know?
This video here, you came upon the scene after the fact, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't see how the impact of the two vehicles, how it occurred, correct?
Correct.
But you could see where there was impact.
Correct.
All right, and you'd heard that there was an accident further down the road.
Okay, and I just need to check on everybody. Is everybody good? Everybody okay? That was rough stuff, right? Oh, that was rough. Everybody good? Everybody okay? Okay. Sherry's good. Mickey's okay. Well, I know Mickey's okay. I know Mickey gets into that kind of stuff, you know. Kel missed it. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure to put that graphic thing up there because I don't want anybody. I need to give a warning because usually they don't show. They like, which they didn't show. Like you didn't even see his face or anything, right? Which was very helpful, but it, you know, hearing him was what was hard for me. So, Tammy said, yeah, what happened before the video? They were just questioning him, you know, so far about the body cam footage and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened right before the video. All right, we will continue. Wait. Kel had to work. Mickey said, I used to. I don't watch much the past year or so. Billy said, yes, had to see. Okay. All right. Well, we will continue on. I just want to make sure all my folks were good in the hood and all.
Road, as you said, Forest Parkway, Riverdale Road, correct?
Yes, sir.
And was there signs of damage to the vehicle, the truck, from that accident?
I'm not sure about that initial accident, but the whole front end of the truck was damaged.
Okay. So, and you've been working patrol how many years prior to that?
10 years.
So you've seen a lot of accidents, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that appeared to be where the truck made some major impact, correct?
I wouldn't say major impact.
It made enough impact to do that damage that you see on the pictures and
On the front right side of the truck, yes.
before I go that way, I'll go ahead and present State's Exhibit 7.
Change it back to,
Okay. And prefer it that way.
That's upside down on my screen.
Okay. That one, right.
Yeah.
And when you approach it, that's the view that you saw.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And of course, there's a median way behind it. Well, not way behind it, but behind it. Was there any indication that there was a vehicle that hit that median before that, from your experience and your training, seeing the accident?
I didn't check the median on scene, but in this picture, I don't see anything that would indicate that.
But you did check the vehicles, the tires, both the Jeep and the truck?
Yes, sir, while I was on
Did it
scene.
appear that any of those had damage from hitting a median?
I couldn't tell what damaged the vehicles.
Okay. But you have seen damage from vehicles hitting the median, correct?
Correct.
And as your initial review of this, it didn't appear that those vehicles had damage from hitting a median.
They didn't have any damage to the tires that would come
Okay.
from hitting
Thank
the
you.
median.
All right, and you stated you came up there and a lot of people had gathered around, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Anybody else
how long do you
spinning?
anticipate it was from hearing what
Billy's spinning,
they
she
said the
says.
incident occurred and getting on the scene?
About a minute.
About a minute. And more people were gathering during that period of time?
I'm not sure. I just remember seeing a crowd of people once I arrived. I'm not sure who stopped and came and went after that.
Okay, but from that picture right there, does that seem to be a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like when you got on the scene?
Billy, go
Yeah,
out
there's
and
a much larger crowd of
back
people,
in,
much
maybe?
more
Check your
traffic passing through
connection?
the area. This is after we locked the entire intersection down and did not let anybody come back into that scene.
Hey, Grinch.
And I'm going to try to use the continuous already. So it's fair to say that so using state's exhibit number 9, it's fair to say that that's an accurate representation of the damage to the Red Dakota.
Yes, sir.
And from that angle of view, the damage that is on the right hand of the truck, that appears to be from a previous incident or previous accident, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does that appear to be significant damage, or,
I'd say that's pretty significant, yes.
and there's radiation fluid leaking from underneath it?
I'm not sure what kind of fluid it is, but yes.
Fluid, and it appears to be coming from the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And from that, there does appear to be contact between the truck and the Jeep, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, from that angle there, it appears, maybe we can get there. From this angle there, your testimony was that it appears the Jeep was in the lane going straight and the truck was in the merging lane, correct?
Looks like the Jeep is mostly in that straightforward lane. Yes.
Okay. And in this picture here, where it appears they ended up, the final resting of the two vehicles, it doesn't appear that that Jeep is too far out of that one lane, correct?
I mean, it was out of its lane of travel.
But it's a foot, 2 foot out of it?
Yeah, about
Okay.
that.
And generally with those merging lanes, there's a little bit more space so that they have time to merge into the lane of traffic that appears the Jeep has slowly deviated from, correct?
Yeah, there should be enough space to merge.
So it's fair to say that generally
the right-hand side of the truck would be kind of a fair representation of what is open or what could be used to drive around, or an accident if it happened, that people could go around it, or an ambulance vehicle could go around it without being obstructed or hindered.
Could go around the truck.
Yes, on the right-hand side.
They'd be pushing it before they hit the curb for an
Okay.
ambulance or something like that.
But hitting the curb in those circumstances,
Yeah,
saying
you
it's
would
not a
jump the
big
curb.
deal, and that curb is not that high, correct?
Correct.
It can be done without damage to a vehicle or damage to a tire.
I mean, depending on the speed,
Okay. But it could occur, correct?
it could occur.
Okay. And the impact that you see there, it wouldn't be difficult for that truck to either back up a little bit and continue going forward, or to kind of just push the vehicle forward and move forward.
I don't think you'd be able to push it forward because of the contact with the tire, but if you put it in reverse, you'd probably jump the curb and get around it.
Okay. And you can do that fairly simple.
Depending on your level of driving skills.
Okay. All right. Now, when you did arrive, you immediately walked up and you secured the weapon, correct?
Correct.
And the individual handed you the weapon and was hanging around. No fear of her leaving the scene. Did you have any fear of her leaving the scene?
I did not.
Do you have any fear of her handing you the weapon?
No.
Okay. And when you took the weapon, you weren't wearing gloves, were you?
When I initially took it, I was not.
Okay. And the major portion of initially when you got there was trying to mitigate or kind of keep people away from the truck or away from the scene that was going on. 'Cause
Yeah, my first concern was securing the scene and then analyzing the victim and see what was going on.
because there were some civilians inside the truck assisting.
There was that gentleman that helped us with the first aid, yes, sir.
Okay. And when you first arrived, Mr. Herring was alive?
Yes, he had a pulse.
Okay.
Girl in the purple on the
And
prosecution
you were
side, it looks like Anne
Inside the
Hathaway.
vehicle. I'm sorry. As you attempted to get in on the driver's side, the door appeared to be
In the back.
stuck or
Yeah,
inoperable.
I couldn't get it open. I'm not sure if it was operator error or if it was locked in some way that I couldn't figure out, but I had to go through the passenger side.
Okay. Could an accident that had previously happened causing that damage cause the door to be jammed or stuck?
Causing the damage to the passenger side.
No, to the driver's side where you initially tried to get in.
I didn't see any noticeable damage on the driver's side door, and Officer Holloway, when he responded, was eventually able to get that door open.
So, but initially you felt it was locked or it couldn't be
could.
open.
Yes, sir.
And there was a lock on the inside of the door that could be used to open and lock to secure the door from not being open, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And as you got into the car, I noticed that there was talk about what all was lying around on the ground. At one point, they said, "Oh, is that an EpiPen?" Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was not an EpiPen.
It was not.
It was a highlighter.
Yeah, I think it did end up being a highlighter.
Okay. And there were numerous what appeared to be needles
Yes.
throughout. And did anybody collect those needles?
We took the whole vehicle to the CSI bay with the needles inside.
Okay, but nobody actually touched those needles, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, and that's procedure. If you don't know what kind of needle it is, you don't want to put yourself in jeopardy. So in your training, it's until the needle has been identified, no one really touches it, correct?
Right.
And that did occur on that day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you said that you went around to the other door and you were able to open that to get inside, correct?
Yes.
And there was not much blood anywhere in the scene or on the victim, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there was no way really to tell how much bleeding was occurring.
Correct.
Okay. And at one point, you heard a lot of individuals saying, we need an ambulance, get an ambulance out here. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever hear Miss Payne saying that they needed an ambulance?
Not individually, no.
But you could hear in the background with the others saying they needed an ambulance?
Yes.
Okay. So it wasn't apparent that she was trying to hinder in any way of getting medical attention to Mr. Herring?
No, she wasn't.
Okay. And during the whole process, she didn't try to hinder anything that was going on. She was cooperative and followed instructions, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you see that she was talking to some of the other witnesses there?
Yes, she did appear to be arguing with one of the witnesses.
Okay, but nothing of those arguments raised to be anything physical. It was just communication back and forth, right?
Yeah, I never saw any physical contact.
And even though it appeared to be getting heated, nothing really turned into physical, correct?
Not that I saw.
Okay. And as you got in there and started looking around the vehicle, there were all kinds of items in that vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were there any various items that were seen in there initially appeared to be trash from that angle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was the console opened and appeared to be in that kind of condition when you got into the vehicle?
I don't believe the center console was open when I was in the vehicle.
Did you open the center console?
I did not.
Okay. And that's the way it appeared when you got into the vehicle?
The closed center console.
Okay. And looking into that center console, is anything of importance that you would see there that you would use in your investigation?
This witness's opinion of what he sees when he just indicated that it's closed when he was there is not your response.
He sees a open portion of the console. He was the one doing the investigation on the scene. If he saw it in this kind of condition when pictures were taken, I think he can make an assessment if anything in there would be important in his investigation.
Okay, I think his indication was that it was closed.
But now that it is open and he sees it, he can assess if there was anything in there that would be helpful in his investigation.
Amy's Chief Assistant Smith.
Judge, I stand by my objection. It was closed for this particular officer. His opinion about what's in there, I think, is irrelevant at this time.
And I can ask him a different way about the,
Well, I'm going to sustain the objection. His testimony that when he arrived on scene, it was closed. Anything he would say is not going to be relevant because it was closed when he arrived.
and in further your investigation, did you ever make it back to the truck to see that the console was open?
I can't recall.
You can't recall. Okay. Were there other people assisting you in the investigation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and who was that?
Off the top of my head, I can remember Officer Holloway, Officer Amos, Sergeant Marion, Detective Hayward came out to the scene. I think Officer Matthews was there, who I was yelling for in the video. That's all I can remember off the top of my head.
Okay, and all of them were there to assist in the investigation, correct?
Yes, during that initial call that we got.
So the presumption is one of them opened that console. If you did not see it in that manner, from your experience and training, somebody opened the console to see what the contents were, correct?
Yes, somebody opened the console.
And they would have done that to try to investigate, see if there's anything that is significant or could assist in your investigation.
But you can't speculate as to why other people opened the console.
Your Honor, he
that an investigator and actually on patrol that deals with situations like this, I think his training and experience, if it's open, if one of his colleagues is there to assist him and they open it, there's a reason, and I think he can testify that if there is a reason, it would be for the significance of it.
Anything further, Chief Assistant?
That's in my objection, though, this whole line of questioning.
Okay, so I am going to sustain the objection, Attorney Tucker.
Okay. So your testimony is that everything was closed, there was nothing that you observed because you were concentrating on the victim at that time.
He didn't
correct?
like that. He didn't like
And
that she
as
sustained
you were
that.
concentrating on that, other individuals that were there to assist in the investigation were the ones that were investigating and attempting to collect things significant.
Yeah, Steph, they did. Yeah, for
But
sure.
The only thing you saw significant was needles all throughout the truck and on the floorboard.
Yes, sir.
And at that time, there was no way to determine what kind of needles they were or what they were used for, so everybody just kind of let it be.
Correct.
How many needles were there from your estimate, from what you saw?
I'm not sure how many needles there were. I remember noticing a significant amount of the little orange caps that go on the needles. And once I saw that one needle in the towel, I kind of backed off of it. I'd say about 5 to 10 of those orange caps that I saw.
And you said you backed away from the needle because,
I didn't want anybody going in there and start looking around and get poked by one of those needles.
and so it was for safety.
Yes.
Okay. And you said that there were significant amount of tops or reminiscences of needles throughout the truck?
I don't know about throughout the truck, but in that passenger seat where I was at, yes, sir.
In the passenger seat directly by the driver's seat, correct?
Yes.
Looked like tracksuit guy was rolling his eyes
Were there any,
over that needle question. I don't know if it was just
and once again, use your memory or if I can find a better picture.
if he did or if the camera panned over towards him at a weird time and he was just moving his eyes around or whatever, but it literally looked like he rolled his eyes. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Have to watch that back.
What we saw in the body cam, which had the console closed and just various trash and needles, that's about all you saw because you were concentrating on assisting Mr. Herring, correct?
Yes, sir.
And upon assisting Mr. Herring, you were able to get him out of the vehicle and into the ambulance?
Yes, sir.
And he was still alive at that time, correct?
I'm not sure what happened on the stretcher ride to the ambulance, but yes, sir.
Okay, but at what point did you leave the tending to Mr. Herring?
Leave the what? I'm sorry.
The tending to or the assistance?
Oh,
into
as
the-
soon as they got him from the driver's seat to the stretcher and into the ambulance.
Hey,
And at
Connor.
that point, he was still alive and still,
He was unresponsive, had a very weak pulse.
but still alive.
Yes, sir.
Mickey, is it me or does this cop look like Laura's husband? I'm not going to say his name, but you know.
And did you ever
He do-
go back
he does
to
to me.
investigate the initial accident?
The accident that happened before
Yes, sir.
this one? No, I did not. That was a separate officer.
And do you know what officer did go back and investigate it?
I don't recall.
Oh no, Mary Lou. You totaled your car by sneezing? Wow. Yeah, me too, Kelly. Kind of keeps bringing that up. Like to say, you know, not insinuating that he is or was, but that she thought that he could have been. And she in that quick of a time frame, she wouldn't have seen those needles. She wouldn't have. thought, oh, this is a druggie, he's a bad guy, or oh, he's going to stick me with one of these needles, so I'm going to, you know, shoot. I don't know. Don't sneeze while driving. Another PSA.
And
Thank you.
From your training and experience and a knowledge of working accidents, from the picture that we initially were looking at,
Right now, Shelby?
would
Oh,
it
my
appear,
Lord.
in your knowledge and training experience, that the Jeep would ever have to jump that median to get in front of the truck?
Which median?
The median that's clearly right there at the front of the picture. Kind of got a glare on it.
Down here in the bottom left?
Yes, sir.
Okay, based on the way that intersection is, if she went around the median, then you would probably have to jump that depending on how close you were. If I can get an overhead picture, it'd be easier to explain. Because there's those concrete medians that have the crosswalk signs on them at all four corners of that intersection.
Okay. Taught how to do this earlier. What color would you like?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Excuse me?
It's up to you.
A good look. How about that? Have to be consistent. All right. And, I believe you could use that to mark or to use as an exhibit to show with the Jeep being in that position and the traffic that you saw and the truck as you see it as it is, would it appear that the Jeep would have to jump the median to get to that position?
To have to, no.
Okay. And from the statements that you were hearing and the witnesses going back and forth, did it appear anyone say she jumped the median?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. If I may approach. She looked at fence exhibit number 36.
Yeah, they haven't said that yet.
And I don't want you to reference it if it was not what you saw when you were on the scene. But do you recall that's what it looked like when you initially got on the scene and went into the vehicle?
Roughly. I'm not sure about the cell phone there.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate representation of what it appeared to be when you got on the scene inside the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this time I would tender defense exhibit number 36.
Any objection?
I'll get it for you if you like.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, admitted, no objection.
And if you take a look at that, I'm going to go back to publish it, and then I'll make sure you can mark it.
Oh.
And I'll state to him that I will publish it and allow him to have the opportunity to mark.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, publish it, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. Nope. Edit. Pretty good. All right. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the document I just showed you that you verified was what it appeared in the front seat of the car?
Yes.
I mean, the truck when you first got there?
Yeah.
All right. What do you see amongst all that?
So the needle caps, whatever's in that bag there, cell phone hooked up with cord, this little flashlight thing down the bottom left, and that white towel that was over the seat.
Okay. And you said whatever was in that bag,
Yes, sir.
that bag that has blue writing on it?
Yes, sir.
Well, what is it? That's what the glare got. And here, you may be able to, if I can approach you again, see it better here. Is there any other bags that are below the bag you were referencing that you could see?
Looks like some clear plastic bag.
Okay, and then there appears to be just one, or how many clear plastic bags?
I can't tell. They're all scrunched up together, it looks like.
Does there appear to be something within that clear plastic bag?
I can't, not sure if it's the reflection or seeing through the bag to the white towel, but I can't tell based on this picture.
But it appears to be something.
It could be.
Okay, good. Nice. So, your training and experience of working accidents and patrol, and I'm going to go ahead and allow you the ability to mark it. And I believe you should be able to mark there. Could you point out the bag that we were just discussing or circle it?
You talking about this one right here?
Yes.
Okay.
And you said the contents, you're unsure what it is based on that view, correct?
Yeah.
And in your experience and knowledge of training and dealing with that, would that be something you would collect as evidence just to verify what is in that bag?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you would take that into custody and zip it up in an evidence bag, and you would take it to a lab, or you would send it off to a lab?
It depends on what we suspected it of being, but usually we send that to the GBI's lab.
Okay, and if you were to send something like that, what would you ask them to test for?
Judge, may we approach?
if I may approach her.
You may.
Oh, wait, it's not there, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, there's audio. They're just having a sidebar. They've lost.
Your statements were that you were there basically to
There.
assist Mr. Herring. and
You hear
other
it now?
people did the
It
rest
should
of
be
the
back on.
investigation.
I would say the rest of the investigation, they assisted where they could.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't say the rest of the investigation, but they assisted where they could. The
Okay.
other officers did.
Did you ever make it back to the scene to investigate?
Yeah, they always turn the
vehicle?
audio off when they have
What do you mean, back to the
sidebars.
scene?
To the scene, well, you never left the scene.
Yeah,
Did you
we-
ever go back and start investigating, looking in both vehicles?
No, that's, at that point, it was turned over to our detectives and the CSI personnel.
So after basically assisting Mr. Herring and making sure he got into the ambulance and he was alive, you kind of would step back and let the other team go in there and do their investigation, right?
Oh, yes, sir. We turned it over to our detectives at that point.
And those detectives were the ones you mentioned earlier, correct?
Oh, and hey,
Detective
Gina.
Detective Hayward was the one that
Hi.
came out to the scene, yes.
Okay, but there was a Sergeant Maynard or?
Marion?
Yeah,
Yes.
and there was a Hollis Amos or Holloman
Holloway and Amos are two
Holloway,
different
okay.
officers.
and anyone else?
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
This dude is literally reading his chicken scratch on his notebook, and he's got the Hollander Amos as one person when it's two different people, one named Holloway and one named Amos. Get it together, Tucker. Tucker.
Just not enough.
Thank you, Attorney Tucker. Any redirects? Chief Assistants?
Very briefly, you were asked if you had any concerns about the defendant fleeing. Would you agree that she was detained shortly after you and the other officers arrived?
Yes.
And at the time that you are first getting there, did you have the benefit of having listened to any of the 911 calls that had been placed in this case?
No.
So did you have any idea what any of the background was as far as the earlier accident and what dispatch had been saying? Did you have any of that knowledge when you're getting on scene?
No, ma'am.
And you were asked if the defendant hindered any medical attention after you arrived, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you ever see her provide any?
I did not.
Thank you.
And at that point, when you arrived, was there any opportunity to provide any kind of medical assistance?
From the time that we were flagged down to the time that I arrived, there was time.
Okay. And then you said she shortly was taken and detained, correct?
Short, as soon as my sergeant came up, he was on foot and I was in a vehicle. So once he arrived on the scene, she was detained.
And when she was detained, there's no way she could give any assistance, correct?
Right.
Okay. And did you eventually go back and find out more about this incident?
Since when?
From when you stated that was kind of you didn't know about the 911 calls, you didn't know about the previous accident. Did you ever go back to look into that or find out what happened?
Yes, I talked to Detective Hayward shortly after the incident.
So you were able to hear that there was a accident with the red truck leading that accident, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there was a 911 tape that actually caught what was going on through the commentary of a correctional officer, correct?
I'm not sure about a correctional officer.
A Mr. Turner.
I'm not sure.
So you don't know the names, but you did hear somebody on the phone with 911 as the Red Dakota drove off.
I'm not sure about what happened in that first
Okay.
wreck.
So your extent of the investigation to go back and find out what happened previous accident was kind of limited.
Yes, sir.
And your curiosity ever wanted to know what happened at the first incident?
Not really.
Thank you. Another question.
Anything further from the state?
So No, Your Honor.
Okay. Will this witness be excused?
Welcome back, Lee.
He needs some sleep, yes, sir.
Okay, you're excused, Sergeant. Have a good evening.
Welcome back.
Does the state intend to call any other witnesses this afternoon?
Call any other witnesses today, but maybe approach to just determine the court's preference about the next steps.
Yes,
Thank you.
That cop that just came off of the stand, he literally looks like an identical twin to one of our family friends' husbands. It's so funny. Looks like they might be cutting today early too. They don't have any other witnesses planned for today. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I like how quick the prosecution questions the witnesses. It just highlights how long the defense takes. Well, I mean, you're right. Absolutely. And I don't know if he feels like the longer I think he just don't have enough questions to ask. And so in order to make it look like he's doing a really good, thorough job, he's asking the same question 52 different ways. And people are seeing right through that. Poor mama. Poor mama. Her neck's hurting her too. Oh, that's the boyfriend.
Good afternoon, Jenny. Sorry, I don't know that.
Oh my God. Alexa is being the most right now.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to recess for the evening. I know it has been a long week, and the good news is that you get to go home now. The good news also is that we'll return Monday morning at 9. The state has other witnesses or that it will call on Monday. And so my previous instructions, and I'll just reiterate because there are a couple that I have to emphasize. Again, do not do any independent research with respect to this case. No social media lookups or postings. No checking the media as to what the media is displaying on television with respect to this case. Do not visit the area, Forest Parkway, Riverdale 85, and those are the instructions that the court will give you this afternoon. Of course, it is Friday. Enjoy the time with your family and with your friends. Ensure that you get some rest, and we'll see you here on Monday morning. We anticipate that I'm going to bring you back here at 9 o'clock so that we can start at 9:30 on Monday. I know it's a little delayed, but there's another matter that the court has to take care of, and so I'm asking you to be here at 9 so that we can start at 9:30. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys. I know, Mickey, right? I thought they would go late today too. Hi, Terry Shale, and welcome. Welcome. Yeah. I know, right, Alexa? She's just does the most. But I really did think that they would go late today. I think they would go late today because they went early. They left early. So, was it yesterday or the day before that they left early? I don't remember. Where is the autopsy report? Would it not show if he had drugs in his system? Well, so they did do, I can't remember.
Is there anything
Hold on a minute.
further that we need to address counsels before I adjourn for the evening?
Judge, I wasn't sure if you were going to read the thing that judges read to defendants while they're having to make a decision about testifying. Not for her to provide any answer today, just to have the information to think about it.
Okay. That's your choice.
Of course, like we said, I don't mind the instructions being done as long as there's no implication or any kind of pressure to make an answer. That is, we have to wait for the state concludes their test.
Okay, so this is just my informing the defendant of her rights at this point. There's no pressure to make a decision this evening. Certainly you can communicate to the court whatever decision you've made once the state has closed its evidence. So, Ms. Payne, do you understand that you have a right to testify, and if you want to testify, then no one can prevent you from doing so? Do you understand that no one can make or compel you to testify? That is, do you understand that you have a right to not testify if you do not want to? Do you understand that your lawyer, do you understand that not your lawyer and that you personally are the one who decides whether or not you will testify?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you do not testify, then upon proper request by you, the court will instruct the jury that your decision cannot be used against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if you choose to testify, you will be both examined by your counsel and cross-examined by either A.D. Hunter or Chief Assistant Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel that you need any additional time to think about whether or not you want to testify or not? But I did say that you're allowed to do that. You can communicate to the court on Monday what your decision is. Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anything further?
And that would be after the close of the state's.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Anything further?
Nothing further, please state, Judge.
Nothing from the judge.
Okay, thank you all very much. I know it has been a long week for everybody. To get some rest, and we'll report back on Monday at 9:30. Thank you all.
Okay, so hold on, let me go back. Let me go back into the chat here. Let me go back up here. Oh, hold on a minute. Dale left for work and Jolie's like, I'm here. I'm here. So I was reading through the comments and was just trying to catch up on some of the comments. Okay, so Kath said, do you all think she's guilty? And Dawn thinks that she is. Tammy said, I think he took off because they would have found drugs in the car, baggies. You run if you have something. And then Mickey says, wow, are they almost done with this trial? She's in trouble if so. Oh, hold on a minute, you guys. I will be right back. Hold on, Bubba. Okay, and I'm back. So now let me go back up. You guys are just chatting away. You guys are just chatting away. All right, I think he took off because they would have found drugs in the car. Okay. She appears so meek. Can't imagine her chasing this guy down and shooting him. So sad. Oh, wait, to hide. Who takes off in an accident like that, said Tammy. Kel says, I had strong opinions at the start, but I'm reserving my decision until I've seen all the evidence. Tammy says, I wish they would say if they tested baggies and needles. He couldn't have been having a medical emergency, Tammy. I think she was running on adrenaline and acted in the moment. It's incredibly sad. Next week, I agree, Kel. Toxicology tested over 200 compounds and found none. Where did you get that, Steph? Yeah, they did. They had the medical examiner on earlier today. They said they listed a whole bunch of stuff that they tested, but they did what do they call it? A comprehensive... I can't remember what the word was that they used, but basically means everything, but they named just like the more looked at ones too, and there was nothing, no drugs or anything in his system. Oh, she said they don't test for LSD, but they established meth is one of the things that they test for. Yeah. Yep. I remember her saying that specifically. And I remember him asking that specifically. Gina says, Kath, you're right. She must have got caught up in the moment and obviously quit thinking about right and wrong. Yeah, I know. Tammy says, I must have missed that part. You may not have been here yet. Sorry if I'm eating my meatballs. Yum. Yeah, I had to grab the kids a snack real quick. Autocorrect. I meant Kath, said Gina. I knew that's what you meant. That's why I said Kath. Yeah, probably Tammy because of the time difference. Yeah, no, I think you jumped in a little bit late and was trying to get caught up. Oh, well, there you go, Gina. Look, Kath says, which I'm sure you've already seen that because I'm behind in the chat. That Kath is short for Catherine. There you go. Yeah, she was before lunch. That's right. That's right. That's right. It all runs together for me sometimes, most of the times. Also, you need syringes and needles in order to draw the insulin from the vial. I didn't hear anything about baggies. And I can't remember, what does it say? Which it was, but they could not... Wait, let me reread that. And I can't remember which it was, but they could rule out either hypoglycemia or hypo or hyperglycemia, but not the other. Yeah, I don't remember. Is that it? Am I caught up in the chat now, you guys? Wow. Yeah, the medical chick that was there today, that it was really not a lot of, I mean, she did give that information about the drugs, the tox screen and stuff, unless the baggies were the 10 count baggies that the syringes come in. I don't know. I missed, if they did say something about baggies, I may have missed that part. But I'd have to go back and look to see what they collected again. I don't remember anything about baggies either, but I mean, baggies to me doesn't necessarily, I mean, I guess, okay, if you're looking at it from just a initial view, but your instant reaction would be like, okay, if there's baggies and there's needles, your first thought is drugs. I know that, right? That would be my first thought too. So, have they said what this girl's background is? Like, was she in security or law enforcement? To be honest, I don't even remember. Does anybody remember what she did for a living? Mickey said, I have empty bags here and there. I keep eyes in. Yeah, Mickey keeps eyes. She keeps little eyes in little baggies, you guys. She's a weirdo like that, yeah. Backstory, Mickey's a crocheter. And she crochets little amigurumi critters who need eyeballs. They all need eyeballs. Steph says, I worked for a pharmacy. Wait. Where does it go? Oh, there it is. I worked pharmacy for a long time. They come in bags of 10 and boxes of 100. You can get them either way. Then the needle is a peel back packaging with like parchment sealed backing and pliable thin. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Kath says, think about how much diamond painters say baggies. I know, right? I know. I saw someone had commented earlier in here, and I don't remember who it was, that said, I think it was Billy, that said maybe he's a diamond painter and has baggies for extra drills. So that must have come up in the chat or in the trial at some point about baggies, but I missed that. Plastic in the front. Yeah. But her career has no bearing on the case that I can see. Well, no, I don't either. But someone was questioning why she would have had a concealed carry license. Like, why was she even carrying? Was it because of her background? Does she have a background in security or law enforcement? Or is she just carrying because she's, using her Second Amendment rights? It would be the furthest from my mind, said Gina. I don't think they said, but she's not law enforcement. She just thought she had the right to make a citizen's arrest. Agreed. Lee, I agree. It's not an excuse. I'm just wondering why she would attempt something like that. Yeah, I know. That's kind of where my mind is like, I don't understand. Like, even if I carried, or just anybody that I know that carries, would not try to make a citizen's arrest. It would be, okay, hold on. I think it would be a different situation altogether if it were like, I don't know, like some sort of hostage situation or, you know, but a traffic thing. I mean, the guy runs into a semi. Let the cops handle it. Even if the guy takes off, get his license plate and be done with it. Right? If it were some, God forbid, something crazy pants like, you know, some guy jerks a toddler out of a car and starts running away with it, that's a different situation. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Kel says he was asking the officer about the baggies in the car. Okay. Gina said it would be the furthest from my mind. The officer couldn't tell what was in them or how many baggies there were. Constitutional right, says Lee. Steph says lots of people conceal carry here for no reason. Lee says that is the only reason she needs. Tammy said defense was asking about the baggies, the collection of. Okay. At one point, I think they were going to do away with even needing a license for concealment. Mickey said no active shooter. It was a police chase and they pulled into Walmart. Ronnie checked. Okay. Lee says, I'm sure somewhere there was a reason for her attempt to make a citizen's arrest. Sure, somewhere there was a reason for her attempt to make a citizen. Well, I'd like to know what it is. Kat says it will be interesting to see her on the stand. Yeah. Well, I missed what they said there at the very end. I missed that part. I'm going to have to go back and watch that part because I didn't hear what the judge asked her and what she, what her answers were or whatever. So we'll have to go back and watch that. But, oh, so she didn't give... They didn't make, I mean, usually it's too early for her to like make up her mind yet. But I know that sometimes they will ask the judge to like remind them that they're going to have a, what's the word they use? A colloquy or whatever at some point. So, oh, Lee said, sorry, an explanation for the reason. Okay, I'm sure somewhere there was an explanation for her attempt to make a citizen's arrest. Okay, I see what you mean. I really hope she does testify. That's the only way we will really know her state of mind at that time. Yeah. Yeah, and they always say it's a double-edged sword whenever they do, if they do choose to testify, because then there's the you know, the prosecution's right to cross-examine her. And so usually anytime somebody gets up there, they get slammed by the state. So we'll see. We will see. We will see if she decides to or not, I guess. Tammy said the guard should not have told her to go get the license plate. He probably wishes that he didn't, but at the same time, she's a grown woman. I mean, in my opinion, she's grown enough, old enough to know. Get the license plate and then be done. Don't continue. No. As far as I know, the only reason given so far is that she assumed he was drunk on her 911 call. Yeah. If it was me and I thought I was in the right, I'm getting on the stand and telling my side. Absolutely. Yeah. I would too. If I felt like I was in the right, I would 100%. state is already so peed at her lawyer, I wouldn't put myself in that position because the vitriol towards him would definitely be taken out on me. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that as meek and mild as she seems there in the courtroom, I can't imagine that being the same person that pulled the gun and did what she did, right? It's two different people. So I would definitely think that they would either chew her up and spit her out, or they would potentially bring out that adrenaline rushed anger version of herself. You know what I mean? They'll probably win an appeal. Oh, wait, Lee said the one thing is that 911 repeatedly told her to not follow. I know. They'll probably win an appeal after the fact, so I think it's worth the risk if she does testify. That way she can adjust her decision in doing so for the retrial. Good call, Kel. And I honestly think she would probably win an appeal too. I know ineffective counsel. I agree. On 50 different levels. We heard her yelling at people on the body cam. Yeah, she was aggressive that day for sure, you know, but she seems so different there. So it would be interesting to watch, that's for sure. He was working against her that day. He was working against her. Her today, I mean. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, the whole, it's like, quit pointing out the things about that don't look good for her. Like the knuckles, the hand photo. There was nothing about that was, positive for her, you know, good for her side, because all it does is show, you know, the fact that she was punching him. And I missed too, did they show the clothing? Did they show pictures of her with the hoodie or her, or because I think I got up and had to go do something real quick. So I missed that part. I definitely need to scroll back and watch. Because I remember they pulled out they was talking about the shirt that she put on afterwards. So yeah, I missed that. Yeah, because they're going to save her from life in prison. That's the difference. Yeah. We saw her wearing the ripped shirt, but you see her in the hoodie on body cam. Okay. Okay. Even if the knife was a component, she brought the fight to him, and she literally brought a gun to a knife fight. Oh my God, Steph, you're so right. You are so right. You're right. And yeah, that's spot on. Spot on. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here and go get these kiddos some real food. I just kind of threw chips at them for a minute. So I'm going to go get them some real food. And yeah, it's still early in the day or the evening. So I'm going to get some work done before my girls go live tonight. But we will be back with the trial stuff at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. And, yeah. So I'm excited. Ooh, Steph has homework for me. Ooh, what's the homework? What do I get to do? What do I get to do? You're welcome, Dawn. Thank you for coming and being with us and hanging out. You have a great weekend too, Kel. Billy says, depending on truck handle, it could have caught her top and got ripped. Hey, that's a good thing too. That's a good. Every time you say stuff, I think you say Steph. That's funny. Watch the show Jury Duty for some lightness amidst this case. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you on somebody's live, Sherry. See you on somebody's live this weekend for sure, for sure. All right. You guys, please hit the thumbs up button. I'll see you on Monday morning back here for some more trial shenanigans. All right. All right. I love you guys, and have a great weekend if I don't see you before Monday. Right? It's fake trial, and it's all to prank one juror. Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah. Send me the link, and I'll watch it. All right. Bye, guys.